Have you ever thought about selling your home, buying your next one, and closing them both on the exact same day? It sounds like the perfect plan. You sell your home in the morning, your lawyer receives the money, you use those proceeds to buy your next home that afternoon, and you only have to move once. Simple, right? Except one small delay that has absolutely nothing to do with you can turn one of the most exciting days of your life into an expensive nightmare. And I've seen it happen more than once. My name is Bob Vevers, and thanks for clicking on this video. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you would give it a like and get subscribed to our growing YouTube community. If you want to work with a very experienced real estate team, we'd love the opportunity to speak with you. You can book a call in the first link in the description. Today I'm going to explain why and introduce you to something I call the domino effect of real estate closings. Once you understand it, you'll never look at closing date the same way again. On paper, it makes perfect sense. You don't need temporary financing, you don't have to move twice, everything happens in one day. In fact, many people do exactly that every year without any problems. But what most people don't realize is that your closing doesn't happen in isolation. It's connected to other transactions you don't even know exist. Here's the easiest way to picture it. Imagine a row of dominoes. You only see the two dominoes you're involved with, selling your home and buying your next one. But that's almost never the whole story. Your buyer may be selling a home, and their buyers may also be selling a property, and so on. Before long, there might be 4, 5, or even 6 separate real estate transactions connected together. Every one depends on the previous one completing successfully. If one domino falls late, every domino behind it is delayed. The problem, you have absolutely no control over any of it. Most of the time, you don't even know those other transactions exist. Years ago, I represented a seller in Waterdown who had moved to Calgary. The buyers were moving from Cambridge. Everything had gone perfectly. The sale of their home closed smoothly. The moving truck was packed and waiting out front of their new home. Everyone was simply waiting for the phone call from the lawyer saying, "You're good to go." That phone call never came. Their mortgage funds were wired around 3 o'clock that afternoon. Normally that wouldn't have been an issue, except the money didn't arrive until 6:30 that evening. By then the land registry office had closed and the lawyers had gone home for the day. The sale could not be completed. The buyers couldn't legally take occupancy of their new home. And it got worse. The movers already had another job booked for the following day, so they couldn't leave the buyers' household belongings on the truck. They drove back to the company's warehouse where they unloaded everything into storage. 2 days later, they loaded it all up again and finally delivered it. One delayed wire transfer created thousands of dollars in additional costs and an incredible amount of stress. Nobody made a mistake, it was simply one delay that affected everyone. Unfortunately, this isn't a unique story. A couple of weeks ago, one of my sellers experienced something very similar. Their lawyer was waiting for the buyer's funds to close the sale of their condo, but there happened to be a province-wide systems outage for one of the major banks. Once again, nobody did anything wrong, but everything stopped and the closing was moved over to the next day. That's how fragile these chains can be. In the previous examples, the transactions closed the following day. But what happens if your original closing date is Friday? The next business day isn't Saturday, it's Monday. Suddenly you're paying for hotels, storage, additional moving costs, possibly taking extra time off work, all because of something that was absolutely out of your control. Does that mean nobody should ever close both transactions on the same day? No, many people do it successfully every year. But after seeing situations like these throughout my career, I always recommend giving yourself a buffer if your circumstances allow it. Even one extra day between selling your current home and buying your next one dramatically reduces your risk. Yes, there will be bridge financing fees, there may be extra costs, but compared to hotel bills, storage fees, moving trucks waiting by the hour, or wondering where you'll sleep that evening, that small cost often becomes the cheapest insurance you'll ever buy. Closing day should be one of the most exciting days there is, and most of the time it is. But the people who have the smoothest moves usually aren't the luckiest. They're the best prepared, understanding the hidden domino effect of real estate closings. And planning for the unexpected can make the difference between one of the best days of your life and one you'll never want to relive. If you're thinking about selling your home and buying another, I'd be happy to walk you through the pros and cons of different closing date strategies before you make that decision. Sometimes one extra day can save you thousands of dollars and a whole lot of stress. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.